Recording in progress.
Good evening. I'd like to call to order the March 11th, 2025 regular meeting of the Kent Memorial Library Commission. And we'll start with item number 1, roll call. Corbin Azigare, we're waiting on. Michael Alexopoulos.
Present.
Julie Bodner.
Present.
And Ann Barachi.
Present.
Denise Boughton.
Booten. It's okay.
Joe Craven.
Here.
And James Irwin.
Here.
Claire Kowalik.
Here.
Nina Kendrick.
Here.
Bob Parks is absent. Bob is on vacation. And myself, Christine Sinopoli, and Despina
Present.
Tartsinis. Okay, super. So tonight I'd like to welcome Julie Bodner. She is our newest commission member. Julie
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Julie's received the bylaws and some of the other information that govern the library. We had a conversation, and Julie would like to join us on the finance subcommittee as well as the policy subcommittee.
Yes.
So I wanted to let everybody know that I'm going to update the contact list with Julie's information, and I'll be sending it out as well as the standing subcommittees list as well. And so just as a reminder, Julie, since you're new, and to let you know that we use Robert's Rules of Order, as they gave you a booklet. So to run the meeting orderly, if you want to speak, you just raise your hand, and then myself, the chair, will recognize you. And we just do this so that everyone gets a chance to speak.
Sure.
So, you know, and sometimes I don't see people and they're like, oh, such and such has their hand raised. So we're moving on to public participation. Do we have anybody from the public that would like to participate? And then Chris, I just want to ask you, Corbin hasn't gotten on.
I don't
the
see
Zoom.
it, not yet, unless she's coming right now on someone else.
But she's planning on coming.
Okay, all
She
right,
has no changes to offer to the minutes.
okay. We can just move her report to the bottom if necessary. Okay, and so next we are moving on to the minutes from the February 11th, 2025 meeting. Is there any discussion? Jim?
Yes, I would like to, under unfinished business, letter A, FOIA complaints update. I'd like to request that my name be removed from that portion of the minutes because I was not a party to that complaint, and it was dismissed, and the minutes infer that because it's Irwin's plural, they infer that I was involved in that process, and I was not.
Okay, so then, Chris, would you be able to get the proper name of the complainant and insert that in that portion?
You can
Okay, so-
either do that or just remove the names completely. I don't know that public shaming is necessary.
It was in the recording, so it's already in there. So if you want to change it to Suzanne, is it Suzanne or Susan?
Suzanne.
Okay. I can't change the record per se, but I guess we can clarify that it was Irwin, not Irwin.
And Chris, I'm just going by memory. Were all 4 of the complaints by Suzanne Irwin?
No.
I
I
would have to
filed
check.
one myself that has yet to have been, it's been heard, but no decision has been rendered.
That's one of the 4 from March of 2024?
No, I believe mine was actually July 15th or sometime around that.
Okay,
I can check which ones.
okay, if you
Okay.
could. I know that there were 4 initial complaints, and perhaps there was one that was filed later that,
Well, the first one that Suzanne filed was in fact withdrawn, subject to the receipt of a letter of apology from the Library Commission. That's what happened to the first one, and I believe that
Right, because that one entailed the minutes being turned in late. There was some misunderstanding.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I think that we're all sorry they got in late, but sometimes things happen.
Mhm.
No one's intention. Is there any discussion, any more discussion on that topic per se?
I was just gonna offer, is there a FOIA reference number for the FOI they usually issue? Because it says the first of the Irwin's complaints. If it's
There
going-
are reference numbers.
Yeah, so
I do
maybe that
believe.
could be referenced, even if you wanted to use Suzanne
No,
Irwin.
I've got docket numbers here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah, there's usually a docket number for FOI when they render decisions. I don't know if that helps.
2024-0084.
When I was notified by town council, he didn't specify the docket number. So, but, you know, I could have asked, but, you know, I'm always in favor of being more specific so that
Yeah, it might be a little more thorough to reference it.
I 100% agree.
And I have another comment, not relative to that.
Okay.
It's just, there's 3 pages, and I'm sure it was just a clerical thing, just says 1 of 2, 2 of 2, 3 of 2, once they're posted.
That's the
Um,
second time that's done that.
Right, is that so?
And I don't know what the deal is.
You don't know what it
with that.
is?
Yeah, I don't know why, yeah, I had to trick the
If
system
it could
the
just be
last time,
corrected,
so, yep.
just to know that there are indeed
Mhm.
3 pages, so if anyone was looking back at the minutes, they know there's 3 pages.
Absolutely great observation. Julie?
Hopefully this pertains, but all of this gets posted as far as even the agenda? Does the agenda get posted anywhere?
Agendas, according to the state laws, have to be posted 24 hours in advance. And then the minutes have to be filed within 7 days.
Okay, because I would just say that commission at the top has 3 Ms.
Okay. Where's that?
The agenda,
Yeah, this one.
Oh, okay, well, you know, that's just a typo that didn't get picked up, so, all right. Thank you. Is there anything else on the minutes? Okay, can I have a motion for the minutes, please? Nina, do you want to make the motion?
Sure. I move that we accept the minutes from February 11th, 2025 with the amendments.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, super. All right. Moving along, the next item is communications. And Amy forwarded a letter to me from the Association of Connecticut Library Boards. Apparently, there was both a membership application and a newsletter, and from what I can tell, they provide advice on library governance. And there's also a $100 fee to belong. I asked Amy if she knew if Kent Memorial had any history with this group, and she investigated, and we don't. We don't have any previous relationship with this group.
Is it possible to, for the members of the commission to actually review this? I'd like to see what they have to offer before we decide whether we want to be affiliated with them or not.
Well, I think that is a good point. You know, maybe what we really need to do is examine, you know, various relationships we have with different groups.
I make a motion to table this while we look into it.
Is there a second?
I would second that.
Okay, and all those in favor? You know what, I'll just kind of pass this around, and, you know, I can hang out for a little bit.
Well, can we just scan it and distribute it electronically so that we can all?
Yeah, sure.
That would,
Yeah, that
that
would
would
be a
give us
better
time to
idea.
examine it, I think.
They have a
Right.
website too. You can check them out.
next we have item number 5, the report of the director.
Hi,
Hi,
everybody.
Amy.
Hello. So as you can see in the report, this part of my voice sounded better. Our circulation figures were slightly down again for February, from January, and from February of the previous year. However, our door count was up quite a bit. I attribute that maybe to winter reading. It was super popular and people were really interested in all the awesome prizes we had, so I wonder if they were coming in to check them out. And you can see our other statistics there as usual. Programming, we had a lot of programs over last month, especially with the winter reading for both children and adults, so we had some increased numbers there. If you can see, the children's total attendance for programs was 893 over the month of February, so that's really great. And for our all ages program, we had over 111 people. They stopped counting at that point, so we don't have an exact figure, but it was a lot, so we're very happy with that. For personnel, Kayla's accepted a full-time job offer somewhere else, sadly, so she's reduced her hours just to being an on-call substitute. I've had the clerk position posted so that we can get that filled because we really can't have any more open positions. We need everyone we can get. Facility-wise, on February 28th, the fire alarm was accidentally triggered by a 1-year-old who was being held by their mother. So that was very loud, and it took quite a while for the fire department to come and for everybody to figure out how to shut it off, so it was very ear-piercing. But I asked the fire marshal for assistance in making an evacuation plan and providing the staff training on how to get out of the building, how to evacuate the building, because it became apparent when this fire alarm went off that we really didn't have a cohesive plan for emergency evacuation. So we need one. So I'll be working on that with the fire marshal. The South Main Street emergency exit stairs are in need of repair or replacement. I don't know if you guys have seen them. If you've been there, they're like metal emergency exit stairs, and you can see them from the children's department. But it's where the water drips down from the roof of the building, and it has rotted a hole in the metal steps, and they're all rusted. So I put in a ticket to have them repaired, so I imagine, facilities is really good about getting on things that they'll be taken care of soon, but I haven't heard an update yet. For funding sources, the Friends of the Library voted to support some of our programs again, the Magical March Madness programming and supplies, which is going on right now, so if you have kids, please come out and check it out, because we've got some cool stuff happening. Snacks for the Nutmeg Book Club, and 4 Amazon puffer fish for the fish tank that I'm anxiously awaiting their arrival, because I don't think I've ever seen these before. They should be pretty cool. We had 235 registrations for the adult winter reading program, and 954 raffle tickets were submitted. I think the Roomba might have been the most popular thing. And upcoming items of note, staff members will be attending the Connecticut Library Association's annual conference on April 27th through 29th. Not all the staff is going. All the full-time staff would like to go, so we're working out scheduling and what days people. It's 2 days. I don't think everyone will be able to go both days just because of scheduling and staffing needs.
Amy, I have some questions about that.
Sure.
So you say that it's 2 days.
Yep, 2 days.
Where is it located?
It's near Mystic, Groton, maybe? Yep.
Okay, so it's in Connecticut.
Yep,
And so the travel is by car.
yep.
And what are some of the topics for speaking?
Oh gosh, there's pages and pages of topics, so it's pretty much every aspect of library service. Like, for me, I'm interested in the things that are dealing with library management issues. They have some on that topic. They have things about programming. They have things about serving underserved populations, serving elderly populations, serving teens, children's programming. It really encompasses all aspects of library work, not just for public libraries, also academic libraries. So there's a lot of really good professional development topics. But if you go to the Connecticut Library Association's website, you can look at what the agendas are for the day, and you can see there's usually 3 or 4 different workshops happening at a time at any hour, so staff has to like pick out, well, I really wanna go to this one, cause there might be 3 things you like at 11 o'clock and you have to pick one. So,
Is it attended by 5,000 people or 10,000? What would your guess be?
I've never been to the Connecticut one, but I can tell you that the Massachusetts Library Association Conference attracts the majority of librarians in the state that can get out of their libraries, you know. So I would say probably 1,000 librarians go to this. They have a huge exhibit hall in Massachusetts, and I'm sure Connecticut's the same way, a vendor exhibit hall where you can talk to vendors about products or things you might want to implement in your library. It's a good place for networking with other librarians to see what services their libraries are offering. It'll be really great for me personally because I don't know a lot of Connecticut librarians coming from Massachusetts, so I'm looking forward to being able to network with some of my professional colleagues.
Oh, so excuse me, just let me interject that Corbin Ezegray has joined us late, so she is present, and Chris, of course, is going to note it. Also, who does the presentations? What are the various groups that make, is it the ALA or?
Not necessarily the ALA, but a lot of librarians from other libraries that have expertise in certain subject matters. So if a librarian has, you know, a really successful program or something they've launched, they'll do a talk about it. For like the director issue type of talks, they'll have different management professionals or HR professionals or other directors talk about their experience. So it's really kind of a mix between other professional librarians and professional speakers that, you know, can speak to the topic at hand. So it's kind of like a variety.
And so if I understood you clearly, what you were hoping to get out of it is to understand the Connecticut library system a little bit better, as well as some management topics and.
Yes, for me personally, I want to, they'll have things like preventing burnout of your staff.
Okay.
You know, topics like that, like things that are relevant to a library manager. So for me, obviously, those topics are more interesting and more relevant to what I'm doing. I don't really need to know as much right now about circulation trends because I'm not working in that capacity, but my staff would. So everybody just kind of picks out the things that, you know, speak to their role in the library and what's gonna help them develop more professionally. And like I said, it's a good opportunity, not just for me to network, but for everybody to network. Because sometimes, you know, you get really good ideas from your professional peers.
Do yourself and the other librarians get continuing education credits from these workshops or various meetings?
We don't, because the MLIS is a terminal degree, we don't have a continuing education requirement. So you don't get continuing education credits because they're not needed. It's just something you go to, you know, for professional development on your own.
Arul, may I?
Yes.
Denise, all these options, are they on the website? So you can
Yeah.
actually see,
Yeah,
just
you can
select
pull
them?
up the whole agenda of all the workshops. That's how we've been looking at them. You can print it out and see every topic that's being talked about, everything, you know, that a librarian can attend during that conference. Yeah, so you can check it out. So check out the website because it has all the pertinent information, where it is, the host hotel. Nobody's staying overnight. I might stay overnight if I go 2 days, which I'll be paying for my own hotel room, just because it's a long ride for me to get down to Groton. But I haven't decided if I'm going both days or not. It depends on the content of the lectures and, you know, what I want to go to.
Thank you for all
You're
those
welcome.
details.
Sure, happy to help. The eggs for our chick hatching project are arriving at the beginning of April. And I just sent a message out to Becky in IT to see if there's a way that we can set up like a 24/7 live stream of the eggs hatching. So I figure if we do it like maybe 2 or 3 days before their projected hatch date and then keep it on all the time until they depart the library, that might be a fun way to reach the community. They can like like tune in and see what the little chickies are up to that day.
They are awfully cute.
Yeah, I love little baby chickies, they're so adorable. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to get that going so that we can kind of get that out in the community beyond just the patrons that come in to see them. We're also starting a seed library for the spring, and seed packets have been generously donated to us by the Yukon Extension Master Gardener Program. So we'll have seeds for people to come and borrow, they don't have to bring them back, or we don't expect them to bring back plants, but if people want to bring us vegetables, I'm not going to complain. So they can just take seeds and bring them home and plant them in their garden, and I would like to keep the seed library there year-round, like I don't want to get rid of it, I think it's a nice thing to have. So, yeah, so we're going to be having that starting soon too, so that's kind of all I've got for my report.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Does anyone else?
I just wanted to thank you for being proactive in terms of like reaching out to the fire marshal for evacuation plan. I think that's super important, and I love that idea about the 24/7 camera. That's really sweet.
I can't wait to see them.
Yeah.
I might bring one home in my coat.
Michael?
I'm Mike Alexopoulos. I'd like to just also thank you for extending the opportunity to the staff, because I'm sure they appreciate the fact that you're thinking of them wanting to, go to and attend possibly a session or two.
Thanks, yeah, I think it's important for them to go. I know they have gone in the past and they want to go. And I think it's important for people to kind of participate in as much professional development as you can, because it keeps you current, keeps you, connected with the community when you can have good programming and provide services that people need, so.
Yeah, just another question. So has the library staff at Kent Memorial Library, have they gone to this particular one before?
Yep.
And are there others they have gone to throughout the year, or is it typically once a year that?
It's typically once a year. I think they only go to that one. There are larger conferences, like there's the Public Library Association Conference, which I got a scholarship to go to last year. Ended up not going because my dad passed right before I was supposed to go. But that's a really big one for public libraries. It's a subdivision of the American Library Association. There's the ALA annual conference, which is huge, but it's, always far away, so it's not really feasible, especially with a very small continuing education line item. You can't really have the budget to be flying people over to wherever the ALA is having a conference. And I hear it's quite overwhelming because it's so huge. So this is really, the conference for the Connecticut library staff.
Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, Amy
You're welcome.
and Liz. So we're moving on to the report of standing committees. So first we have building and grounds, we have Corbin.
I have nothing new to report. We're kind of waiting for approvals and budget.
Oh, okay. I did notice that when I was looking over the minutes, Amy, we had asked you to follow up on, there was discussion about the budget for the atrium being $48,000. And if it came in significantly over the position of the foundation. Did you get a chance to ask
I
them?
haven't seen the foundation yet. Their meeting for this past month did not occur. So I won't be meeting with them again until the end of this month, and at that point I can approach them as a group and talk to them about it. So I should have an update for you guys in the coming weeks.
Okay, yeah, if you could just please keep that on your to-do list.
Yep,
And
of course.
anyone else? Okay, so we're moving along to community relations,
Yes,
which met.
we had a meeting.
Yeah.
Very exciting. Actually, it was really good, I think. Bob presided over everything, and there was myself and Despina, and we also had Holly, Verity, and Wendy with blue hair, and Amy was there as well. And the point was to find out primarily, but not only, about the Suffield on the Green and the possibility of putting a booth there again. And it used to be apparently tied in, according to Wendy, she gave us a historical background, that it used to be connected to the book sale, and everything changed. And of course, the book sale is giant size now, so it really needs to be in a different place at a different time. But we talked about, so she gave us a whole historical thing and talked a little bit about how to draw attention to the booth and whatnot, which gave us some ideas that she wanted for our next meeting. Holly, and then we asked about other ideas, things that they were thinking, maybe thinking about doing. And Holly brought up having professionals in various trades to come in and talk to people. She was saying that the high school has more students these days that are interested in trades, or more specifically not interested in pursuing a four-year degree. And what do you do about that? And is there a possibility to go to the library and meet with people who are in these professions? And I thought it was a great idea. Really, she's very excited about it, obviously, but I think it can go places. And then Amy mentioned the possibility, sort of, because she did this successfully at the library she used to work at, of a car show, vintage cars, which is kind of cool. So we'll see where that goes. The future is we're going to get together again and establish some sort of action plan and figure out all the specifics and logistics, and then we'll present it to y'all in April. This is April. No, this is March. April, May, probably May. So we will need people to person the booth, so the commission members will be called upon for the Suffield on the Green.
And that is the weekend after Labor Day weekend?
Well, it could be. It's in September, we know that.
I think for the last
Yeah,
few
it's always-
years.
it's always
been
It's always there.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
weekend after Labor Day.
Okay.
So maybe people could just be mindful of that, to try to block some time off.
Did I leave anything out?
No, you did a very good job. It's most likely gonna be a schedule of like 2 hours, for each commissioner and incorporate some of the
And
staff.
I'll be
But other
there.
than that, yeah, some of the library staff, commissioners, it'll be nice to have, different people manning the booth.
Nina?
Denise, could you just clarify, has a library participated in Suffield in the Green in the past?
Oh, yeah.
Every year, or have they, like, recently? Like, were
Not-
they there
not
last
since
year?
COVID.
Not since COVID.
Not since COVID. Okay, so trying to get it
Yep.
rerunning again, okay. Thank you.
Okay, so moving along, next we have the finance. Joe?
Yeah, so Claire received the paperwork from Sky and reference for, I need to read through and sign, you need to read through and sign, and she does as well, so I'll talk with you about that later.
Okay.
And then just the presentation of the budget, is gonna be on Monday, so I'll be attending that. I don't know if anyone else will,
I can't, I have planning and zoning.
I'll probably
Is
go.
anybody else free, Claire?
I'll be happy to go.
Oh, super.
Cool.
Yeah, it shouldn't be that long, and usually in the past, it's been at the beginning, if that's helpful. I think that they're probably meeting at the police station, but I could let everyone know. Okay, and then historical,
No,
okay.
sorry. That's Denise.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, personnel, Nina, there's
Nothing to report.
right. And so policy, I don't have anything to report right now. Technology, Joe.
nothing to report.
Okay. And so moving on to number 7, unfinished business. So I don't have a reference number, but the second complaint that was filed, nor do I have the complainant's exact name. Do you know Chris by any chance?
Do not.
Okay. I do know the last name was Irwin, though.
It's Suzanne.
Okay, thank you
I
for
have a
that
copy of it
information.
here. I'm looking for the docket number. FIC 2024-0084.
Do you need that again, Chris? Or
FIC 2024-0084?
Correct.
Okay.
thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So that complaint has also been dismissed. So that's good news. And then moving on to item number 8, new business. We have none. Okay. And then public participation. Anyone? Anyone online?
Doesn't look like it.
Okay, no public participation. And then can I get a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn. This is Denise.
A second,
I'll
please.
second.
Nina beat you to it. Okay, and what time do you have, Chris, please?
7:31.
7:31. Okay, thank you, everyone, and good night.
Thank you.